Hello, everyone. Yay. We're coming on, and it's a little late, but hey, I'm here. So I'm going to do my hair, and I'm going to listen to the show come on the air. Let me get my hair all pumped out. I missed you guys. Hello, everyone. I am here and I am your hair doctor. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone. This is so exciting. Listen, I miss you guys so much. And you know what? Christmas is on Sunday. So I will not be here next Sunday. New Year's is on the following Sunday. So I will not be here on that Sunday. So I'm going to be missing you guys again. So I'm just going to have to do some side blogs or something. But I'm excited because we're going to talk about, wow, I'm trying to get my headset on, guys. We're going to talk about hair porosity and hair density today. So, wow, I got a little rest while I was away. And today I had my third graduation at my institute, the cosmetology, the Lisa Akbari Cosmetology Institute. Look at this hair, guys. If you're on live, and I'm going to see if I can go live and see how long my phone holds out, because I may lose some power. I think I just kind of sucked up all of that my memory the last time. So I'm going to try that. And then I'll finish fixing my hair. But my phone lines are open today at 901-535-9342. That's 901-535-9342. And we're going to have a great show today. So I hope everybody is having a great Christmas holiday. Let's see if we can't get here with my Facebook friends. Wow. Okay. So let's see if I can go live again. And yeah, this is great. Okay. So let's see if we can hit that. And then I can get my hair back together. Okay. So here we go. Hi, Facebook friends. I am here at the WDI studio trying to get my hair on with these headsets. And my hair is getting so long. Let's see. Cancel. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to run out of memory there. Yeah.
Friends,
okay, here we go.
I am here at the WDA studio trying to get my hair.
Yeah, this is not going to work because if I keep cutting off, we're going to try this other phone. But if I keep cutting off, that's going to take, I'll be through the entire show. I'm going to try one more time to get on so my Facebook friends can also see the show. But we will see status. Let's go back. Cancel. Live. Cancel. Okay, let's see if we can. We're ready now. Okay, so welcome to the show. Today, as I said, I'm trichologist Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor, and today we're going to talk about hair porosity and hair density. My phone line's okay. Somebody's here. Hello, and welcome to the show. Let's see, Mark. Am I on? Because I can't. Can you hear anybody? Okay, we can't hear you. Okay, guys, are you there? Oh, hi, Anita. I miss you. So how are you doing? Oh, no, I took a vacate. I vacated the premises. Oh, I know. Merry Christmas to you as well. And it's always so good to hear your voice. I thank you so much. No, I'll be on. This is my this may be the last show this year. And then I'll pick back up with all new great things. And we're doing our cyber Get the Length program, which I'm going to talk about today. And then I'm going to talk about the school. We had our graduation today, and then we're starting new classes for 2017. So I'm excited about that as well. And I'm trying to go live on Facebook, but we'll see if it works for me here. Okay. Yes, I'll make sure I let Nisi know. She's busy with those twins. All right. Well, good. That's great. 3 boys. That's a great thing. Oh, I have twin daughters. Yeah, she got Woman of the Year through one of the a big organization, national organization, women's group, and then Legislator of the Year. I hope I'm saying all that right. So she's got some several awards, and it's just a blessing. It's very humbling. Oh, to God be the glory. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. And Merry Christmas to you as well, Anita. All right. Thank you so much. We're going to have a great show today, so listen up. All right. Bye. All right. That was Anita. It's always so good to hear from her. She is a wonderful, wonderful person. Thank you so much, Anita, for calling in. I'm trying to do the live on Facebook, but it doesn't look like I'm having any kind of luck doing that. I don't know what's up with this. And I think a lot of it is me. And I will confess that I did tell everyone I was going to do live, but for some reason, let's delete that one. Some reason I'm not able to, so we'll see what happens. I will try it once again, and let's see if it will allow me. Hi, Facebook. Hi, Facebook friends. You got to go to YouTube because I may run out of space, but I'm Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor, and today we're going to talk about porosity. And we're going to talk about density. So if you get cut off and I run out of space, then you guys will go to YouTube, type in Lisa Akbari, and you will see me. And we can continue the show. So today, I am here live in the WDIA studios with iHeartRadio. My phone lines are open. If you have a question for me today, I miss you guys so incredibly much. My number is 901-535-9342. That's 901-535-9342. All right, cool. This is great. So welcome. Now, last time we talked about hairline thinning, which was pretty big. I got lots of emails about that. Thank you guys so much for the emails. And we've got a lot of folks that are on point with getting their hairline back in shape. So I'm pretty excited about that. If you have questions, you can always email me, lisa@lisaakbari.com. That's Lisa at LISAAKBARI.com. If you have questions about hairline thinning. Well, okay, what's hair porosity? We're going to talk about hair porosity and hair density. So what's hair porosity? Hair porosity it's really your hairs and skin, your scalp, your ability to absorb and really retain moisture. It's how it works. It's when you absorb moisture or does it go in? Like, you've heard me have heard or may have said that, listen, my porosity, you don't know it's porosity, but you may say, well, I put hair products on, and when I put them on my hair, it seemed to just dissipate or go away. And that's a problem with your porosity. That means it's not equal. So most of the times when you have poor porosity, then your hair is going to absorb a product, but it's going to dry out quickly. It's going to have a shine when you put the product on, if it's oils, but then it's going to get dull quickly because there's damage to the cuticle layer. If you have a porosity if your hair is overporous, then what's going to happen is you're going to have a problem with not really being able to get those products into the hair like you should. What you want is equal porosity. You want a healthy cuticle, and the healthy cuticle, that's your top layer. That healthy cuticle is designed to open that Open up, allow the porosity when it comes in contact with liquids or when it comes in contact with hair products. Allow it to go into the hair shaft, the cuticle. If it's a chemical, it's going to go deeper into the cortical fibers, which is the second layer. And then it's supposed to be removed without any problems with damaging the hair and it's supposed to slowly be removed. In other words, if it's a chemical, the chemical is forcing the cuticle to open, and then it's going to go into the cortical fibers and either straighten the hair, or it's going to go into the cortical fibers and color treat the hair. That's basically, and then once the chemical is rinsed away, then the hair, good porosity, will allow the cuticle to close down, and the hair will be healthy, moist, strong, hydrated, in other words. Poor porosity is when the cuticle is damaged and then you are not able to get your products to go in and stay in. For example, it's with your hair conditioners, your moisturizers, your oils. When those things are on the hair, then you put them on and then they dissipate. Or it is as if they didn't go in the hair at all. So that's when you have problems with breakage, dryness, brittle, problems with style retention, those kind of things. So that's what porosity. Porosity deals with your hair and scalp's ability to retain its moisture. When does your scalp have the problems? Your scalp will have a problem with porosity when you have damage the epidermis, the top skin. Did you know your scalp has the ability to retain 20% of its weight in moisture? Yeah, if it's sealed properly, if your scalp epidermis is healthy. And so you can have a problem with the way your skin absorbs. Good and bad porosity. Those are things we want to look at. We want to make sure that we have good porosity. Now, we're going to talk about how do you get good porosity. And then we're going to go on to talk about density. How do we get good porosity? Good porosity, and if you're just joining, I'm trichologist Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor. Thank you so much for joining me on this Sunday, this holiday, when everybody's so busy running around. We're talking about hair porosity and hair density. And we're going to talk about density in just a moment, but right now, we're going to continue to talk about hair porosity. And as we were talking about, how do you get good porosity? Even porosity, equal porosity, a balance. The way you do that is to protect and preserve your hair. One, so that the cuticle layer, the top layer, stays nice and healthy. It's kind of like shingles on a house. Shingles on a house, if you tear a cuticle, that's what it's like. If you rip and tear shingles on your house, hey, you're going to have leakage. You're going to have problems. You're going to have dry rot. You're going to have all these problems with your roof and the inside of your house. And that's the same with your cuticle. It overlaps on, these are layers that overlap like shingles on your roof of your house. So you want to keep them healthy. How do you keep them healthy? The way you keep them healthy is by several things. Number one, you want to make sure that you're deep conditioning. I say this all the time. You hear me say it all the time. But deep conditioning is one of the best ways. Now, we don't always do it like we should. But deep condition is one of the best ways to guarantee that you're going to get maximum penetration from your conditioner, and you're going to have the greater chance of having good porosity. So deep conditioning, if you're not doing it, let's think about that. 2017, we're really going to do a lot of deep conditioning because we're going to have our Cyber Get the Length program going. So I'm pretty super excited about that. So we're going to have that going. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk a lot about that, because how do you deep condition? Two things you want to think about in your deep conditioning steps. One, you want to make sure you have a conditioner that gives you protein. And you've heard me say this before. You need protein. And then you want a conditioner that gives you moisture. Why do you need both of those? Because protein is going to give you strength, and the greatest need of the hair shaft, really, at the end of the day, especially natural dry hair, is moisture. So you have to have both protein and moisture. And what's the deep conditioning all about? Deep conditioning, where you're allowing that conditioner to sit on the hair, raising the temperature of the hair shaft to at least 60 degrees, which is on a medium setting. You're not going to reach up there and measure your dryer. You're just going to put it on medium setting for optimum penetration. And it's important that you don't sweat under the dryer, because that's a whole nother story. And we talk about that on other shows, and I have spoke about that. That's where you're leaving your conditioner on and you have it on high, or hairstyles, and you're sweating, and then you're dumping wasting salt. So that dehydrates once it dries. So you just want to keep some cool water. If you're one of those people who overheat, you want to keep some cool water while you're under the dryer, but keep it on medium setting. That's going to give you optimum penetration, and it's going to do the most repair work. It's going to allow your cuticle to open. If there's damage there, if there are porosity issues, then it's going to help to equalize your porosity. And how often? Some ask, should that be done? That should be done at least once a week. If you're just tuning in, I'm Trichologist Lisa Akbari on this Christmas holiday, and I'm so excited to be here. And if you want to talk to me, you can do so by calling 901-535-9342. That's 901-535-9342. And as you're joining in, thank you guys so much for joining in. And just say, listen, I just want you to ask me questions. That's what I'm here for. I'm your hair doctor for the next about 40 minutes. I'll be your hair doctor, and actually beyond, because you can always email me, lisa@lisaakbari.com, and I'll spell it. That's LISA@LISAAKBARI. 2 A's there together. Okay, so we know what poor porosity is. We know how to correct it with the deep conditioning. We also want to do daily hydrating. Daily hydrating, especially during this time of year. And I know I'll date this show if I talk about the season, but now this is winter. Wow, today, really. Seriously, guys, let me tell you a quick story. Last night, I decided, okay, it's warm. It was 70 degrees and probably a little warmer. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to grill. And I was at the grill and I'm grilling, cool. Wow. I looked around, it was dark clouds, and just in an instant, it went from 70 degrees. I know it must have dropped 30 degrees. I don't know how many of you had this experience last night. If you were outside when the temperature dropped, it was a sudden plummet. I mean, it just, I could have sworn it had to be at least 30 degrees. It was ice, I felt like was in the wind. It may have been lower, but it was pretty cool. But anyways, that wreaks havoc on your hair. Your hair dries out, of course, immediately. I'm hydrating my hair because it's like, okay, you're going to dry out. So I go in and I'm hydrating. These are the things you have to keep in mind. And those kind of things with the weather changing, that's when we find more dehydration, more problems with porosity, because most people want to treat their hair the same year round. Well, every time a season change, there's some areas, some times of the year when you really, really, really have to be careful, because the transition seasons causes a problem with porosity. The transition seasons are the seasons between fall and winter, really harsh transition season on your hair, and between winter and spring. Anything that hugs around your winter, even if you're in other countries where it's warm, you still have a little drier in many cases, especially like Arizona and places like that. Oops, you know what? I need to go and see if you guys are on live on my chat and have questions for me. Guys, forgive me for that. I just wasn't thinking. So let's go and see what we have going on here. Let's see if we can go chat with you. My phone lines are open at 901-535-9342, or you can chat with me if you like to chat. If you're on my Facebook friends, hello everyone. It's so good to see you guys. I don't get to have you guys on very often, but I am on today. We're probably going to drain out my memory. So if I do, you can go to YouTube and look for me, Lisa Akbari. Just type in LISA AKBARI. Let's see if we can get our YouTube channel up. And you will be able to chat live with me. Okay, let's see it. I have to pay attention to my phones because sometimes I don't, and then I end up with callers. So we're talking about hair density, and we're talking about hair porosity. So let's see if we can get on. Let's see. I don't know. I have not been able to find my way. Videos. You know, it's a crazy thing. Let's see what we have live. Okay, so guys, give me a minute. I'm going to get to my chat room. I think that's me here. No. Let's see here. Trichologist. I think dehydration. I'm trying to find myself online. Oh my goodness, how do I expect you guys to find me? We have a phone call. Let's go to that while I'm trying to figure this out. Hello and welcome to Ask the Hair Doctor. You have a question for me?
I do. Good evening, Doctor.
Good evening.
I'm so happy to speak with you. I'll make it quick.
No worries.
I think that gray hair has a different porosity.
I think so. That's a yes and no. Okay. So let me explain what I mean. The question was, does gray hair have a different porosity? And it can, because what happens when you lose your color, and what happens, gray hair is just an absence, as you may know, of color pigments in that cortical fiber. So when you lose your color pigments, just like if you were coloring your hair, your moisture levels can also become imbalanced. And when that occurs, then your hair can dehydrate, and there's a problem with the appearance of poor porosity. So what happens, you have to use more moisturizers. You have to actually be very specific when it comes to hydrating white hair, because you have to get, like, especially on the hairline, you have to get your forefinger and thumb and actually place that moisture on those dry spots, because you may not have problems with the entire head. It just may be in certain spots. So yes, there can be the appearance or the problems with poor porosity, but it doesn't have to be. I always say, and just like I was speaking about what happened to me last night when that cold snap, I would say go in and just try your best to be proactive, but you can be a little reactive with this, because sometimes you just don't know that you're going to have these problems. So with white hair or gray hair, what you want to do is, if you're deep conditioning once a week, or if you're conditioning once a week, you want to step it up to twice a week. If you're hydrating your hair, you can do once a week deep conditioning, but you should hydrate daily. I mean, you should not go a day with white hair. You should not go a day without hydrating. Kind of like as we get older with our face, we have to do. I mean, like I used to have oil literally dripping off my face when I was younger, but now it's like, hello, moisturize, moisturize. So, it's that way with the white hair. So you lose that. Your moisture levels change. Everything about your body and your hair and your follicle is included. It changes. So you just have to step it up a little bit so that you won't notice it. Like, I don't notice my porosity may be changing. I have white hair somewhere hid in there. I'm not going to show it to anybody, but it's in there somewhere. But, but I hydrate. Oh my goodness. I hydrate every single day. Hydrate face, hydrate hair. Absolutely. So I hope that helps. Oh, you're so welcome. Have a wonderful, merry, blessed Christmas. Okay. All right. Bye-bye. That's a big deal. I mean, a lot of people are so concerned. A lot of women, it's like, wow, what's up with this white hair? Not only is it white and showing up, and I didn't ask it to be here, it's also dry. So that was an outstanding question. Thank you so much. And I didn't even ask your name, but thank you so much for calling in, and Merry Christmas to you. Hi guys, if you're just joining in, I love the questions. So please, and chat room folks, I'm just still trying to get to my page. So, just bear with me. I am on live with my Facebook friends, I think. It's got all these little messages up here. But if you're just joining me, please call if you have a question. If you're trying to chat and I am not to that chat room yet, you're welcome to call me at 901-535-9342. That's 901-535-9342. I'm trichologist Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor, for the next 30 minutes or so, probably 35 minutes. And we're just having a great Christmas holiday. We're going to talk about density next, but I want to tell you guys about what I did today, which is super, super fun. I had a graduation. My school is what we call the big baby. It's the new part of my business. Because one of the things I realize is that I do a lot of advanced training. I do training for consumers. I do all kinds of training with licensed professionals, people within the industry, people who have the interest. My trichology classes, I've had RNs in my class, chemists, people who are just interested in hair and hair loss, counseling with other medical doctors about hair loss. But I realize if I'm going to really make a great impact on the industry, hair industry, and really help, I mean, these students were wonderful today, and I'll tell you about them in a minute. The great impact, I felt I needed a school. And it's like, wow, Lisa, you've been in this industry for 40 years. Wow, I said it. Can you believe that? 40 years. Woof, that's a long time. But anyways, thank you, God, for your grace. So I've been in industry a long time, and I just realizing I needed a school, because if I can get the students before they actually get in the industry, it's a lot easier to help them and to guide them. And because there's such an epidemic right now of hair loss and hair and scalp problems among women, and particularly women of color and women with natural hair, women with relaxed hair, women with permanent wave hair, I felt I needed to really help the professionals, because for every one professional that you help, you've helped 10, 20, 30, depending on their clientele, people. So I won't just help professionals, I'll be helping their whole clientele. So that's when I decided to make an impact on the industry. So 3 years ago, it's been 3 years now, I think, wow, I decided to open a school, and we've had our third graduation. And today, out of all the 3 classes, and I love all my students, but out of all the classes, this particular group, I mean, they were so excited. They were so incredibly excited. We had standing room only. We had to put out more chairs. And their family came out, and it was just a great time. And I was just so thankful that I was able to speak to the students. And it was just a great, great, great time. So if you're interested in getting into the hair industry, please give me a call or just email me, lisa@lisaakbari.com, because I would love to have you, and you're in the Memphis area, have you in my class or in my school, to join my school. The other bit of a commercial I'm using is the cyber reading. I just want to talk to you guys, not cyber reading, but cyber Get the Length program. We're going to help individuals. You know, there's so many of you that are out there and want longer hair. You can go on my website at lisaakbari.com. So it's the same as my name. And let's see, let me get in there, and yeah, and let me see how much time we have before we start it. It's 13 days, 6 hours, 28 minutes, and 18 seconds before we actually start our Get the Length, cyber Get the Length. So I have like a clock countdown. And what I'm going to basically do is some personal chatting. We're going to do a little bit of one-on-one. We're going to do so many great things to help you. And I'm going to write you a custom program. I'm going to read your strands, teach you how to read your strands, to know if you're breaking or you're shedding, because there's so much confusion about whether I'm shedding or breaking. So those are things that we're going to talk about in the Get the Length. And I'm going to be online live several times a week. I promise I am. I'm going to be online live. And so I'm pretty excited. I'm going to be hiring an assistant to work with me on a lot of this because it's just really, really challenging for me to do a lot of the things that I'm trying to do here. But I think the cyber gifts and length is going to be the answer for a lot of women. Now, not everybody wants long hair, but there are a lot of women who do, and they just feel like they can't obtain length. And I've done some studies to prove theories that I had about why women can't have long hair. And especially with natural hair, there was a couple of things I was trying to decide on what I was going to do. I was either going to do the big chop. No, never the big chop. I was going to do a transition. I was going to relax my hair like I did in 2009. And I was going to transition and show you how to transition without doing the big chop. Well, of course, I love you. My cyber family went nuts. They was like, no, it's like taking a drug and teaching people how to get off of drugs. Oh my goodness. Okay, guys, I said no. So I didn't do that one. I've done it before, and it's really easy to transition. It's just knowing exactly what to do. So I was going to do that. But then I looked at the amount of people who do these protective styles in order to get long hair, and then they go online after they've had their protective style up 10, 12, I'll say 10, 11 months. And then they say, oh, look how long my hair is. Well, you've covered it up. What about the folks who don't want to wear weave or protective styles or hairstyles that's kind of stuck to our head? What about us? How do we get length? So after conducting the studies to prove theories about why we don't have length, now I have the Gift and Length program. And what better way to really super introduce it to my cyber family, because you guys out there are struggling. And so that's what I'm going to do. So 2017, and we're doing a countdown, and we're going to do this, and I'm pretty excited about it. So that's what's going to happen in 2017. A cyber gets and length. I'm getting to density in a minute, guys. So hang in there. If you want to call me and ask a question, you can do so by calling 901-535-9342. That's 901-535-9342. And if you are just joining in today, I'm Trichologist Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor. And I guess about the next 30 minutes, I'll be your hair doctor, maybe a little less. But we're having a great time, and it looks like I am live with my Facebook friends. But guys, if you're sending out some love to me, I am not able to see it. So send me some love this way. Let's see. It says we're still spreading the word that you're live. This may take a minute. Keep going. We're telling your friends that you're live. You're live. We're building an audience for you. I don't know what all that means, but anyways, so welcome Facebook friends, and welcome my cyber friend family. Those of you who are just signing up and listening up, and welcome out there to our Memphis and audience around the world through iHeartRadio. I'm Trichologist Lisa Akbari, and for the most part, I'm here each and every Sunday, and I'm your hair doctor. And we talk about hair. We're talking about hair problems that, some people say is not really a big deal to talk about hair. I mean, what's the big deal? It's just hair. Well, it's a big deal for us. It's a big deal for women. I am a trichologist, and I treat women every day. And I was just sharing with someone earlier how it just kind of messes with their self-esteem. A lot of women think that they're sick, they're going bald. So what am I doing? Why am I losing hair? Why am I having these problems? So what we're doing is great. I think what we're doing is a blessing to have the gift to be able to do it. And I want to share. So that's what I'm doing each and every Sunday. Next Sunday, of course, is Christmas, when we celebrate our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ's birthday. Yeah, some of you say, well, we don't know if that's the right day or that's the day. Well, we're celebrating. Okay, we're just going to celebrate it. And we're going to celebrate that. So we won't have a show next Sunday. And then the following Sunday will be Happy New Year. So I won't have a show that Sunday. So then I'll be back to start the new year off with all new shows. I'm really excited about it. and our cyber reading. Also, I have a couple of things that is happening. I'm going to start new classes with my Cosmetology Institute. And as you know, I told you or shared with you earlier, I had graduation today. I had graduation today, and I was really excited about all of the students that graduated today. I love you guys, to you and your family. Thank you for a great graduation. And then I'm starting my trichology course for those professionals who's out there who want to get into the science of it all. If you're licensed or in the medical field or in a related field, hair field like barbering, then you can join the class. You can go to lisaakbari.com, or you can email me, lisa@lisaakbari.com, and you can join that class. And it's online, so you can join it from anywhere in the world. Very interactive. I do live lectures online every Monday. Starting, this class starts January the 23rd, and I'm super excited about that. But let's get back to our density. I know a lot of you want me to get to the point. It's Christmas. It's Christmas holiday. So you're like, well, I want to hear about hair density. All right. What is scalp density or hair density? And how can you have good scalp density? What does it look like if you have bad density? And we've got some hair news too. I want to get to that, and some questions that we have here. So guys, again, I'm Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor, trichologist Lisa Akbari. And for the next 20 minutes or a little bit more, 24, I am going to speak with you about hair density. We've just finished talking about hair porosity, and then we're going to get some hair news in and get some questions in. My phone lines are open at 901-535-9342. I'm here live in the WDIA studio. I'm on Facebook Live. I'm YouTube Live. So we're having a great hangout. You know, Google is on Facebook, not Facebook, but it's Google and YouTube. Okay, so I'm losing battery and everything here with my phone, but I think we have enough to finish up this show. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about scalp density. What is scalp density? The hair, and it's not the skin scalp density, it's actually hair density as it relates to the scalp. Hairs per square inch, are they equal in number? Are there inconsistencies in how your hair is actually emerging, or your hairs emerging from your hair follicle? First, let's get a little bit of background here on this. Let's talk a little bit about the follicle and how it relates, how all of this relates. I think I've got all kinds of stuff in the background. Okay, one, if you have one hair follicle, then that hair follicle will provide you with one hair. But that one follicle rests in a larger pore called a follicular unit. So a follicular unit can provide you several follicles, 2, 4, 5, 6. It's all genetically linked. And though each one of those follicles can and should provide you with one hair. So what happens when you start to lose hairs in a follicle, hair in a follicle, you begin to lose your density begins to change. So your hairs per square inch begin to decrease in numbers. When I'm doing a hair and scalp analysis, I'm taking a microscopic view of the hair and the scalp. And one of the things that I do, let me get these out of the way. There we go. And one of the things that I do is I try to look at and see if everything is consistent. If we have any inconsistencies in the hair, in the density. So I look at this, and let's turn this a little bit, because there we go. All right. The inconsistencies in the density within the units, because we just talked about the follicular units. If they're inconsistent, then what's going to happen, you're going to find the Christmas tree part. If you part your hair and look in the mirror, you'll see that part changing. You're thinking, wow, my part is not narrow anymore. It's now wider. It looks like a Christmas tree. You know, I call it the Christmas tree part. Or you can begin to develop those little patches, round circles. The larger the area is, of course, obviously, the more you're having or experiencing density changes. So the hairs per square inch are beginning to decrease in numbers. What does that look like microscopically? I view with a handheld microscope, and a 50x will give us enough of an image enlargement in order to read density. And when I'm looking at that, what I see, and I think I'm getting away from my mic. Sorry, guys. What I see, I will see either one or two things or three things. One, I'll see a blockage in the mouth of the follicle. That's where we have, and I will talk about those changes that occur and what are those blockages in just a second. So I'll see a blockage in the mouth of the follicle. It's where the hair is there, but it's not emerging. Or I will see the hair trapped. And what is it trapped between? I'll talk about that in a second. Or we'll see what we call villus hairs or transition hairs. And we'll talk about what that means. Let's start with these blockages. Blockages are these little pimple types that rest in the mouth of the follicle. As a trichologist, one of the things that's our specialty. One of the things that we really look for is we're looking for ways that we can solve. I can solve as a trichologist. I can solve these problems of hair blockages or diagnose this type of hair loss. And the reason I hesitated a little bit because I conducted a study called Scalp is Skin. And in that study, I looked at our scalp as skin in two ways. One, I looked at how do I keep my scalp healthy and young? Like I want to keep my face young and healthy. And one of the things that causes us to age is poor skincare. We let our skin dehydrate and we let it stay. So then it starts to self-pollute with dehydration. And so we get all of these problems with these clogged pores. They're just blockages. Some of y'all, I don't. No. Sleep in makeup. Even if it's minerals, because I like to use minerals. I don't like to use it. I used to use this thick, pasty makeup. But I use a dust, a powder. And if you sleep in these, even minerals, something that's supposed to be light, you can have problems with a blockage in your pores of your face. So you can have an aging effect on your skin. Well, the same with your scalp. When you use products, so there's three categories of blockages. And they're pollutants, but there are three categories of those. One, hair products. Certain hair products can cause density problems because these hair products are filled with conditioners and fillers. And the problem is not your conditioners filled with conditioners and fillers. The problem is your shampoos being filled with conditioners and fillers for two reasons. One, you have to have a shampoo that cleans. If your shampoo is not clarifying your scalp every time you clean, then you're going to have a blockage, a buildup, a negative buildup, and it's going to solidify and you're going to have a blockage. Two, you're not going to be able to get anything, your conditioners to work well on your hair. And if you use conditioning shampoos, because you're not really getting clean. So you're just kind of softening your hair. If you see something that says hydrating shampoo, conditioning shampoo, and you've heard me speak about this before, you're going to end up with a cosmetic buildup. So it's not a clean product. It's not cleaning, which is what your shampoo is supposed to do, and it's not a clean product. Conditioners that don't rinse clean from the hair. You want your conditioners to help with your protein and moisture to keep it balanced, but they have to rinse clean. You want a squeaky clean head of hair. You don't want a dry, rough, stripped head of hair. So you want to look at the pH of your shampoo, and you've heard me say that before, 4.5 to 5.5. And make sure it's a clarifier. You have to have a clean shampoos, clean products. Products that gels, mousse, things that we don't really use that much, but a lot of the waxy products, even with natural hair. My natural hair, you see the body, the movement, and my natural hair is soft. I could pull it back and, but sometimes we get these natural hairstyles, we can't even move it around. Well, you should be able to, and it's hydrated. You can see how hydrated it is. You want products that will rinse clean and dissipate. So the way you know that is put a little bit on the back of your hand, rinse with warm water, it should start to dissolve. That's a clean product. So those cause cosmetic pollutants. That can cause a blockage and could cause a problem with your density. Then you're looking at scalp pollutants. You have to clean with a clean product, but you have to clean. So often, these dry times, if you're in winter months or you're in a place where it gets really dry and you have these dry seasons, we tend to not shampoo as often as we should. So then we have these dehydrated scalp that's going to self-pollute. We're going to peel and it's going to solidify around the mouth of our follicle and it's going to create a blockage. And then you have environmental, dust, dirt, and debris. Dust, dirt, and debris from the air. I mean, you can walk from the building to the car and you're getting some environmentals on your hair. It'll work its way to a scalp. All of that together, those three categories, cosmetic, scalp, and environmental pollutants, will solidify on your scalp, creating this blockage. Now, remember I said three things. One, the scalp plugs, cosmetic plugs, environmental plugs, or blockages. The hair will not emerge because that plug is lodged inside the mouth of your follicle. How did that happen? When that plug is lodged in your mouth of your follicle, that means that your hair follicle, and I'm getting low on battery, Facebook friends, so I may lose you guys. Either memory or battery. It's going to be one of the two. I don't know. That plug will keep that hair from emerging. When the hair naturally sheds, more of the solidified pollutants begin to develop. So it takes years. This is why so many people develop a form of alopecia. I've coined it with my study as follicular epidermis alopecia. So these plugs and blockages rest right in the mouth of the follicle, right in the epidermis, the mouth of the epidermis. So the hair follicle is functioning for the most part. It's producing a hair, but it's just not emerging. So it's blocked. The other way you'll see is where it's the hair follicle has allowed the hair to emerge. The hair has become sandwiched between your epidermis, right outside the mouth of the follicle, and the solidified pollutants. It's like a dense wax. So we can see the hair swirling around the scalp, on the scalp, but it can't emerge. And those are really itchy too. So sometimes if you have a really itchy scalp, generally I'm going to find some ingrown hairs somewhere. Ingrown hairs. It's not the kind that grows out and grows back in. It grows out and it just kind of swirls around the mouth of the follicle. So that's another way. So the other thing I mentioned was the villus hairs or transition hairs. That would be more internal. That's when we find that the follicle itself is malfunctioning internally because of something happening within the body systems. So sometimes it can be drug-induced medication, in other words. It can be genetically linked. Sometimes the follicle is genetically programmed to malfunction at a certain cycle, growth cycle. So after a certain age, so you lose hair and you don't regain it, or regrow it. So what happens, the hair starts to grow out at a smaller and smaller strand. It starts to lose color. Microscopically, we can see that it's losing color and it's smaller than the surrounding hairs. And that tells us that there's a transition here. Once it's lost color and it's lost its ability to obtain length, then that tells us it's a villus hair. So we can easily recognize the difference between An external follicular problem where there's density problems, the hairs per square inch are decreasing in numbers because you have an external problem, something that a trichologist such as myself can treat, or it's a problem that's going to require a visit to a medical doctor like an endocrinologist or your dermatologist or your primary care physician can help out as well. But mostly the endocrinologist and the dermatologist are the two that I generally will recommend, because the endocrinologist can do all kinds of administer all kinds of tests so that we can see what's going on. Dermatologists can help us with those scalp diseases, do biopsies on the follicle to see if there's some kind of fungal issue, some other things. So there's lots of helpful practitioners for this. So that's the density issue. So we have to take care of that. I'm hoping that I got those questions in about the density, but I'm gonna let's get some of these that was mailed in to me. And guys, I apologize if you're trying to chat with me. My number is 901-535-9342. If you're just tuning in, I'm trichologist Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor, and today we've been talking about hair porosity and hairs and scalp density, where the hairs per square inch are decreasing in numbers, or the porosity. Our hair seems to absorb everything, hold nothing, dry hair. So if you just tuning in, this movie, it is a movie, this video will be archived and you'll be able to listen to it in its entirety if you like. But my phone lines are still open, and we're going to get some questions in at 901-535-9342. That's 901-535-9342. Let's get an email question. Lately, my hair seems to be thinning close to the scalp. What can I do to help increase the fullness of my hair? Hair close to the scalp, that's the key thing. So if it's thinning and it's the strand close to the scalp, there may be some issues with how the strand is being taken care of. So we need to look at whether there's hairs per square inch are decreasing in numbers, or if the strand itself is thinning. Let me tell you what I mean. If the hairs per square inch are decreasing in numbers, it's a density issue. So we need to look at whether or not it is a density issue. So if it's that, we need to say, okay, do you have any telltale signs of a follicular epidermis alopecia, which are itchy scalp, flaky scalp, tender scalp? What we do is work on correcting those symptoms. Once we correct those symptoms and the thinning stops, or you start to grow hair, or hair start to emerge, then we know that was the issue. Or you can see a trichologist and they can easily tell you. Always try and find a trichologist, one who uses a handheld microscope, so that they can give you a full hair and scalp analysis. If it's a thinning strand on the strand level, then it could mean that heated tools, chemicals, harsh detangling or brushing, it could be a number of things where you have overexposed your strand or hair shaft. So that would make a difference in your hair strand thinning. So email me, lisa@lisaakbari.com, and let me know which one that is, and I can try to get you a few more answers to that. Can I dig a little deeper? Second question: when I condition my hair, it seems like my hair just soaks up product, like it's literally thirsty. It's like I can't seem to use enough product. What can I do to make my hair better? This is a great question, because when you have porosity issues, that's a porosity problem. Your hair is absorbing everything and holding nothing. So you put oils and moisturizers on and it seems to go away. The deep conditioning, and not just the deep conditioning, something I call plus conditioning. So if you're listening out there and your hair seems to be dry all the time, do something called plus conditioning, which is really, to be honest, the only true way to get true deep conditioning. Let me tell you what I mean. Okay, you need to first, after you shampooed and condition your hair, after you shampoo your hair and rinse your shampoo away, you towel blot the hair to remove the excess water, and then you apply your conditioners to your ends, hair close to the scalp, work it down the actual strand. Then you sit under a warm dryer. Do not comb your conditioner through now. Sit on a warm dryer for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, take your plastic cap off, reapply hairline, ends, massage it through, sit under again for 10 minutes. After that, you do it again and keep doing it till your hair stops absorbing the conditioner. That's going to help to correct many problems. And it needs to be a protein and moisture, deep penetrating protein and moisture and stabilizing conditioner. Okay, remember that. Okay, guys. And hello out there, folks who are chatting with me. I just apologize. I just have not been able to connect with my chat room. I am here live as well on YouTube, and I'm here live on Facebook. So thank you guys. Merry Christmas to you. All right, last question, and then we're going to get to some hair news. I have two little girls. One has thick, full hair, and the other seems to have thinner hair, softer hair. I'm struggling to take care of the thinner hair. I don't want to damage it, but I don't know how to care for it. One, you just do less. With all hair, you have to be careful to protect and preserve. But when you have hair that have smaller strands, that's generally what's probably happening. She's probably got smaller strands. So if you have a little girl with smaller strands or thin strands, y'all call them soft strands, then you need to make sure that you are, for sure, don't detangle. Take your fingers and thumb and slide. First, put your leave-in conditioner. I have one called Hair Vitamin. And I actually have a whole program for little girls. So you can go to my website, lisaakbari.com, and you can look at that program. Also, I have free videos on how to work with your little girl's hair. Look at that video on hair nutrition for little girls of color, or type in Lisa Akbari on YouTube, and those videos will come up. But you want to spray in your leave-in conditioners, and you want to just slide your fingers down the strand. Be very careful, and just use your hands. Use the comb as little as possible. Leave-in conditioners every day. Leave-in conditioner and moisturizers. Okay, I just want to get to this hair news. We only have about 2 minutes left, or 3 minutes. Hair news, Matter of Trust, a nonprofit in San Francisco that uses hair to clean up oil spills, just opened up a large facility. This is a cool way to recycle cut hair. The company envisions creating an infrastructure where they can collect hair from across the country and use these types of hair. Use hair for these spills. Interesting. Wow. That's a bit of hair news there. Okay, so they're getting the hair and sopping it up using oil, sopping oil up or cleaning up oil. You know what? I have a better one for you. Why don't we donate this to children and women who have alopecia areata instead of using it for that? You say you're a nonprofit, and I get that. Like I said, the title is A Matter of Trust. But if we can donate that here to Locks of Love or some of these nonprofits, then that would help to make wigs for children and people who are suffering with cancer. Okay, guys, we are just about out of time. So cancer or just permanent alopecia. Okay, so I see my viewers are dropping off right now. Everybody's going, it's Christmas, Lisa. That's enough. That's enough. So everybody's kind of cutting out. Next week, stop it. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Because next week, we won't be here. But I am going to see you next year. I love you guys. Have a safe, wonderful, blessed Christmas. To God be the glory in Jesus. I will see you on the other side. I will see you next year. Have a wonderful Christmas with your family. Have a great day.
This is Kenny. Guess who like it?
Okay, guys, I am done. I am all done.
Best gospel right here.
Thank you guys so much. You know what? I'm getting ahead of y'all because we're doing the cyber get the length. And you know what? I'm already getting length because I've stopped all the torture to my hair that I was doing. So I took that off so y'all can see. Woo, woo, woo. My fro is doing something. Woo. Okay, guys, we are off now. I love you, Facebook friends. Mwah.
Christmas better.
Let's see if I can cut that off. And then,
I was just at Walgreens.
there we go.
Apparently, I'm
And
getting a
I love you.
Trust me, it's anything.
I love you, love you,
So
love
I
you.
think
Sorry.
for friends,
Oh,
you
there we
gotta
go.
to YouTube.
Okay, let me turn that off. Okay. Let's get that posted. Okay, there we go. And I'm gonna see you guys later. I'm gonna see you guys in 2017, and we're gonna have a whole lot of fun in 2017. Plus, I'm gonna have a fro this week. All right. I may be blogging a little bit, may cheat a little bit, but for this show, Ask the Hair Doctor here in the WDI studios, I won't be doing this one until 2017. All right. Have a wonderful, Merry Christmas. Hug and love your family or friends. And just know Jesus is the reason for the season. Have a wonderful Christmas. See you next year. Bye.